Hello, and welcome to another episode of Pull Up 3. I'm Paragon Don,
I'm Jamae.
I'm Jay Trent.
and today we have Maddy with us to talk about the Phoenix Mercury. So,
Yay.
um, I know that their season did not end in a favorable way, but I feel like realistically, they did have a really good season. Um, how did you feel throughout the season? And like, did you did you see them beating Minnesota and the Liberty back to back at the time? Or was it just like I'm just happy to be here at a certain point?
Yeah, it was definitely I like was honestly not that high on the Mercury going into the season. I ranked them 8th. So I
We
was like
we ranked
I
them
said,
pretty
you just
low
like
too.
us.
Just
I was
like us.
definitely like I was very much like, I think AT obviously love AT, always have been a ride or die for AT. Um so I knew like she was gonna do her thing. She was gonna have a MVP season like she has been for the last several years. Obviously love Ka. I was like uncertain about Satu, and I think there was like that was kind of like a mixed experience with her fit on this team. But my biggest concern was the depth. And I think the interesting thing was like their depth really was like surprised everybody for most of the season. Um, and then at the very end, when it came to the Aces, which I think partly was because, they played a tough series against the Liberty, 3 games, and then they played a tough 5-game series or 4 games, I guess, against the Lynx. Um, so I don't know if maybe they're just like petered out at the end. And there was like inexperience in some of the obviously with like Monique and whatever, anyways, that matters. But yeah, I think like all in all, I underestimated how well they would do in the regular season and the playoffs. So like I was just happy that they sort of found my biggest concern with them like was what are they gonna be in a world without BT and BG because like Phoenix hadn't had Mercury hadn't had a world without Diana Taurasi or Brittany Griner for like almost or 20 years. So I was like really just, what are they going to be? Are they going to be able to establish an identity? And I think AT pretty much answered that. The team played very much Alyssa Thomas style basketball. And I thought they did a great job sort of building the roster around her. And obviously there's I think some tweaks that can be made, but overall, I think, yeah, it was a huge success, and I was like, they exceeded expectations. Um, so yeah, I think they have a lot to be proud of this season, honestly.
I remember one of the things that we were concerned about was where was the shooting going to come from? And then that ended up being one of their best assets.
Right,
When Kyle was
exactly.
hurt and Satu was hurt, and it was just AT and everybody else, they were just like, well, we're gonna let AT do her thing, or we're gonna surround her with shooters, and we're gonna win games. Um, and that really worked for them. Um, I think all respect to AT at this point, she has shown that as long as she is on the roster, you will win 70% of your games, 60, 70% of your games. That's all you need. It don't matter what else is around you at this point. She is an elite offensive engine, um, without having to necessarily score or at least be a elite scorer, which I think is a pretty interesting bag that she's kind of brought herself in. So yeah, we collectively did not view them that highly. Um, I remember when Minnesota they folded for that first game against Minnesota in the playoffs. I was like, I don't think they're gonna win a game, and then them niggas won 3 straight games. Like they will a team with AT will make you a believer. Um, so yeah, I know that people were really hard on them now that because they did get swept, but I think people really need to look at the season as a whole and think people did not expect the Aces Mercury final at all. So the Mercury even getting there is still an impressive thing. Um, and I mean, we can get to this later, but people feel like AT can't be the best team, a best player on a championship team, I think has started to turn into a really unfair narrative.
Yeah, I don't buy into that at all. And I think that's unfair, especially when you remember the fact that I felt like people were really harping on the Mercury posted that stat basically being like the Mercury are the first team to make the finals with no previous like players from the past 5 years or whatever. And a lot of people were like, that's such a random stat, which like, okay, yes, it is to a degree, but also like that speaks volumes if you really think about it, because like they had so much roster turnover. Literally the only player basically is Ka and Natasha Mack. And so for them to have so much roster turnover and basically have a completely rebuilt roster to start a rookie in Monica Akomakani and Natasha Mack on a finals roster, which like all respect to those players who both of them I'm a huge fan of, especially after this season and the way that they played. Um, but I think, yeah, they were real underdogs. The big three players didn't even get much playing time together. We have to remember Ka missed the first 6 weeks of the season with her knee surgery, and like Sachi was injured, AT was injured, Lexi had her lung punctured. Like there was like a lot going on with that team for them to make the finals in the first place. And yeah, I think, much is always made of a sweep, but I think as far as sweeps go, it was also a very competitive series. It wasn't like the Aces just blew them out every game. Like one of them came down to one of the arguably the greatest shots in WNBA history from an MVP. And we're talking about the Aces, which is arguably, again, now a dynasty that they came up against. So it's like, first of all, they beat the arguably the two best teams in the league in the Lynx and the Liberty all year, who everybody, I think, for the most part, thought would make it back to the finals, or that those two teams had the best chance to make it. And then they came up against the Aces. So I feel like, that is a really tough three teams to come up against in the finals, especially having your first finals run together as a group. And if I can throw in um, an agenda of mine, they had to deal with Nate Tibbett's coaching decisions, um, which did not particularly benefit them greatly. And he decided to play Kalani Brown, halfway through game 4 when they were already down 0-3. Um, anyways, that's another thing. But yeah, I think there's yeah, I don't know about making any type of real narrative about the Mercury losing in the finals after they beat the Liberty and the Lynx, who were for the most part. I also think a big part of this is, oh well, Stewie wasn't healthy. Well, Stewie played. So if you're on the court, yeah, I'm not going to say she was 100%, but she balled out in the series. So like, let's not try to act like she was just a cone who was like being rolled over. And she played all but the last game of the Lynx series. And yes, she got hurt, but she got hurt in like with 24 seconds to go. It was horrible. Nobody wanted to see her go down like that and see her season end like that. I, for one, wanted them to whoop their ass fair and square, which I still believe they would have easily, because that's the way the series was going. Um, so yeah, I think that narrative is bogus, and not just because I'm a Mercury fan, because I would be honest and say that the Aces, for example, if we talk about the Storm later, um, I think that Aces series very easily could have gone the Storm's way. And I think that's a very interesting, you know, aspect of the playoffs. And that's how these things go, is like a lot of times it's a series that can play out one way and ends up playing out the other way. And then of course the fun thing about sports is we can have those conversations and say, well, maybe that team would have done this, or it would have happened this way, or whatever. But ultimately the reality is the Mercury beat the Liberty, they beat the Lynx, they made the finals. Nobody thought they were going to make the finals. Mercury fans like myself didn't think they were going to even come close to making the finals. If you told me they made the finals, I literally would have been like, I would have thought Satu had an all W season. I would have thought, right, that's like that was the crazier part to me. It was obviously AT had an unreal historic season, but like all things considered, and no shade to them as players or anything, but like I thought Satu played well and like consistent for the most part. Ka did good. There was like sort of consistency issues with her injury and whatever she was coming back from. But like all in all, again, if you told me they made the finals, I would have been like, must have gotten an otherworldly performance from those three players. And the cool part to me was that like they found a lot of really, really good role players and really proved that role players matter. And role players matter in deep playoff runs.
It's actually like funny because the last couple of days we feel like we've kind of been talking about the same thing about like the matchups matter um but to go back, like I think I had the Mercury 9th. Because I do not believe in the unicorn, I fear. And I don't know if I believe in her any more this year than I did at the beginning of it. But to be fair, I do think, and we already said this, that I do think that this group, it works because AT is who she is. And I think like she's been rising to the occasion in a way that it feels like it goes unnoticed, right? It's like there was a game, and this is a little bit why AT not being like not being top two MVP candidate, and just even the narrative around her all year was just like kind of insane to me, because when they played the Lynx, in the one game that I think her and Fee played against each other during the regular season, Alyssa Thomas put up like 29 points. It's like, how many times in Alyssa Thomas's career is she putting up 29 points? Like, she maybe does it once a year. Yeah, like she's done it she's got her a couple 20 balls, through career, having these insane numbers. But it's like, how many times has she done that? And then you do that against the runner-up, the team that is you do that against the MVP favorite. And at the time, Fee was the only player that people was talking about. It was very much like she gonna walk away with this award, like she's sleepwalking to it. And it's like AT walked in there, they were down too, no less. Like they were down, and she was like, okay, like y'all gotta dig deep. We gotta all dig deep. And then to win that game. And I feel like that's kind of maybe one of my favorite things about AT. I've said this when we talked about the Aces, but it's like if AT could just channel that when she plays Asia Wilson, I think they might have won a championship, because she just continues to just do whatever the team needs and just is able to rally the whole group together. And I think I don't know, I think it's special to watch, and I think Ka and Satu are the right people to surround her with. I do think they have to, obviously you want them to be healthy, and I do think health plays a part into it. And I do think we'll probably talk about Joanna and Sammy later, but I think for your team to kind of be hodgepodge put together to make it to a finals, I do think that is like really special. And like and like you said, the stat that they pulled out, like they're the one team to ever whatever to like not return any players from their last run. That's actually, like, if you think about it, that is crazy. Like, roster turnover in the W it's a thing. It happens, right? But to go from even last year to this year to have two players, and then the two players you got, one of them don't even play for the first 20 games, 30 games. Yeah, like 20 games, 10, 20 games. So you really just got a bunch of people out here who don't know each other. They met each other 6 weeks ago, and they're beating top teams. Like when Mercury went on that run, they beat the Liberty. I think they beat the Aces, and what, it was like an 8-game run. I remember all of them, but I remember them beating them too, and it ended when they played the Aces again, and they lost. But it's like you have a team that's like hodgepodge put together, and to be fair to them, like the players that they had doing that were rookies, literally all four of them. Kit, Monique, Lexi, and Catherine Westbell are all rookies. They ain't even never been here before, and they're carrying this team forward. And so, like, you expect, you get to the playoffs and that to kind of fall off. It's a long season, and you do need that experience, as we've seen with all of the young team, mine included. You need a little bit of experience. You need to see what that run feels like. But I don't know. I do feel like I'm more proud of more proud of their season than being like, damn, they can never repeat this, because I do feel like it is repeatable. Like this actually can. You could do this, keep most of the same pieces, improve around the margins, and could potentially be right back in the same spot. So yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
think
totally agree.
I was gonna say like the discussion around building a team around AT is just so funny to me because it's just like, can you win with a team built around Alyssa Thomas? It's like the fact that this question is being asked after watching the team built around Alyssa Thomas be in the finals is so funny to me.
Right.
Because can you win? Clearly you can. Only one team wins the championship every year. You say, will an Alyssa Thomas led team ever win a championship? I don't know. Like we talked about how important the matchups are. If like Maddy, like you said earlier, if the Aces lose to Seattle, maybe an Alyssa Thomas led team has the title right
Right.
now. So I mean, you never know how these things go. And also the the part about saying, oh, well, can she be your best player? I mean, she probably will be. She won't be the leading scorer on your offense, which is why, like Jamae said, you surround her with a Kahleah Copper, a Satu Sabali, players who can take the scoring load off of her by being willing to put shots up and also being able to score at multiple levels. And then you bring in shooters like a Sammy Whitcomb, you able to pick up Duana Bonner in the middle of the season. You got Monique Akoa Makani, who came in as a rookie, not a traditional rookie. She wasn't drafted, but they brought her in from overseas, and she was able to essentially act as the starting point guard because there are actions that she can run off of AT. And if she's got an open shot, she's gonna take it and knock it down. you're not asking much more from her on the offensive end. And then defensively, she'll stay in front of her assignment. She's got active hands. She can create turnovers. So you got a roster that can do the small things, and you kind of give AT room to be AT. So I can't, I don't see how you could look at this season as anything other than a success from that standpoint. Obviously, you hate to get swept in any series, especially in the finals, but also, like you said, we had close games. We had a red hot 3-point shooting game in game one that honestly that should have been a game that Phoenix should have been able to steal on the road. But you see what it looks like. Like you have the concept is there.
Yeah.
This can be this level of team if we execute XYZ.
And
So
into the to like even the scoring thing, like I total points, Satu scored 35 more points than Alyssa Thomas. And frankly, a team operating like that, where Alyssa Thomas has to have that much of your scoring input, honestly, they probably should not be where they are. Like it in my thought, you wouldn't even like 15 points is cool, but like I don't really want Alyssa Thomas to put up 15. Like I want Satu Sabali to put up 18. And I want Kahleah Copper to put up 18. And I want, Monica Makani to give me 9 or 10. Like you don't even necessarily want this much from AT, but she's still like able to give it to you whenever you need it. And like being able to step up when it matters and fill in the gaps, like at any with whatever at this point. So it's like this isn't even to me. This isn't even like they didn't even play ideally. Like because there clearly is so much that they could have done better. And if you don't play in a perfect system or perfect world, right? But you still make the finals. I don't know. I feel like, and honestly, even if they didn't make the finals, even if to me their success was already beating the Liberty because you now have you be a team with Stewie, JJ, Emma Miseman, and Sabrina Ionescu. Like a team that people during this season, I think did they split the series? And a team that they walked into it, you were the 4th seed, and people still was like, oh, Liberty and 2. Like Liberty and it like they did not expect you to win. So for you to be able to even not even play two really, I don't even know if I want to call it 80% because again, I feel like not they didn't even really get to play together except for maybe like 20 games, 25 games at best. So you play 25 games and then your playoff run and you're able to accomplish all of these things. I feel like you're onto something, and at least for another year, maybe 2, you do need to try to commit to this bit. You do need to try this again. Maybe next year if it don't work, then you might have a different conversation. But also, it feels like it's working.
I also, to the AT point, I just want to remind people some of the stats that she put up in the playoffs to close out the Liberty. She had 20, 11, and 11 with 2 steals and a block. Game 2 against Minnesota, game 3 against Minnesota, 21, 9, and 8 with 5 steals and 2 blocks. A closeout game against Minnesota, 23, 8, and 10 with 1 steal. And even against the Aces, like she put up a triple double and 2 near triple doubles. She was 1 assist off. Like we're ignoring the turnovers for the last game, but still, it's obvious that she she puts up numbers and they contribute to winning. It's just, again, like Jay said, only one person wins a championship every year. And there are just going to be players from certain eras that don't win, but that doesn't mean they can't win. And as we expand to more teams, that is more likely to happen on a generation to generation basis. Like now we're about to have 15 teams. There are going to be people that get drafted to one of these 15 teams and they go their whole 10+ year career and they just don't win. Um, then when we get to 20, it's just gonna be more and more likely. I feel like before, when there was only like 12 or less teams and you have these generational players, it's like, okay, your time is probably coming at some point, but it's just a lot less likely now. And I mean, the only people who have won a championship recently is either Candace
Stewie or
Parker
Asia.
or it's Candace Parker. So the last couple people who won championships is Asia 3 times, Stewie, Candace Parker, and if we're going back to 2019, EDD.
EDD.
Like these are somebody's feelings is gonna be hurt every year. You can't do nothing with that.
You
I
can't help you can't help the era that you were brought into.
you
Like
cannot.
it's a rough time. It's not a lot of championships to go around.
Like BG is one of the best players in WNBA history, and she only has one.
And from the what was there
And
a
this was
break
from her
of
like
her
her
career?
rookie, or like her
Yeah,
rookie
like
or sophomore. It was very
2014.
early in her career. She has not got another one since. Like some people just don't win.
And that's the thing with AT too. I feel like she gets a lot of flack for like the fact that she's lost in the finals multiple times. First of all, there's a lot of players who don't make the finals, like just ever in sports. Um, Not just even in the WNBA. But second of all, she again lost to EDG, then lost to Asia and the Aces future dynasty, and then lost to the Asia dynasty again. So it's like, okay, what are we really talking about here? She can't. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I just don't think AT can really win the big one against the Aces dynasty and the Mystics, who had an incredible run that year before AT had not even arrived, I would say, really fully at that point. So this whole like, I don't know, that this whole narrative about AT that I just think is really like absurd and ridiculous, to be completely honest. And
I
I feel
do
like I would be like willing to have that conversation if I felt like it was a real conversation, but I just genuinely I'm like, what are we talking? It's you come up against the Aces. I don't know what they are, just what they are. I didn't believe in the Aces either, and the Aces have just proven they are like one of those teams in sports that like just figures it out and just wins. And so when you come up against that, it's like, what are you really supposed to do when you're coming up against Asia, who literally swept the entire season and just dog walked the entire league essentially? Um, and Chelsea Gray and Jackie Young and Alyssa Smith. And like, it's like, I mean, what it, like we're really gonna go there and we're really gonna be like, oh, that's the takeaway. Like this is what pisses me off about sports discourse, and I get it. Like I do, but it's also just like, yeah, that's I think just a really frankly nihilistic way to look at the season and to look at what happened and to be like, yeah, I don't know. I guess Alyssa Thomas just can't win it all. It's like that's what you got from that. That's really the takeaway. I don't know, man. That's not where I'm going with it.
So
He had how
now
many
that
triple doubles this year? Like 4 million, and the rest of the league has like 4 total. It's I mean, I was pissed she didn't win MVP, and I thought Asia fully deserved it, and I thought Fee had a reasonable case too. And like obviously on that side of my fandom, I'm like Asia totally deserved it. It's not like I don't think they deserved it, but like on the other hand, I am like, what does AT, there's nothing AT could possibly do because she's never going to average enough points to win. She's just never going to average enough points. And that is like crazy to me. It's like, wow, we really just don't give a shit about assists. The fact that a forward is leading the league in assists again, set an all-time record for assists again in fewer games. Whatever. It's just
No,
AT. It's like people just accept that now. They're just used to it. And it's like, okay, and people act like it's like she's just stat padding or something, which like I'm like, I hate that we're even, I wish stat padding had never entered the lexicon because I feel like it's so overused when it's like, what are we really actually talking about here? And I feel like that's what people think about AT. Oh, well, she's just getting these triple doubles. What does that actually mean? You know how rare a triple double is? Like the fact that she's doing all of that on the basketball court at once. I don't know. I just don't know. I feel sick that she's never going to get the recognition that she deserves as a player. And
I
she
feel like
knows it, and like everybody knows it, and there's just nothing she can do. And I thought maybe the Phoenix market would help, and I think like maybe it did a little bit, but
I just think she got a little bit better PR this year. But I am at the point though, it's kind of like, what actually does she have to do? Because you now have 2 seasons in the book of stats that literally nobody else has ever achieved, and you've now done it twice.
right.
And it's not even the first time it was enough to get you the most first place votes and the most third place votes. I'm never letting it go. And then this time it was not enough. Like it was kind of like people were like, oh, okay, well, that's what she does. And it's like it feels to me almost like odd, because the conversation where we have about Asia, where people are like, when the media, the Twitter media people were posting their ballots, and it was, well, I'm picking Fee because for whatever reason, I don't remember what that lady said. And the conversation was always like, well, we can't ignore greatness, or we can't not like reward players for being great. And I feel like nobody ever applies that conversation to Alyssa Thomas, because like, nope. Again, the numbers she's putting up is just like not happening, and you really cannot stat pad your way to it. Like I know that it's sometimes funny to say, and last year I might have given it to some people, because there were, last year it would have been different, but this year specifically, almost every time that Alyssa Thomas got a triple double, they won the game. Like up until the playoffs, every time she got a triple double, they won the game. So to me, that means they needed her to do that to win the game. Does that say something about Phoenix? Maybe. But on the other side of that, like, you have this player quite literally doing everything and doing it well too. It's not like, again, none of the teams that Alyssa Thomas has been on have been like high scoring teams either. So it's not like, they getting out there and they running the score up 30, and then she should, like these are dog fights every night. Right. And I do think it's wild that like she hasn't gotten an individual accolade, whether that's a DPOY or an MVP. And I get she don't have defensively, she don't really have the counting stats. And I get it. I do understand the counting stats, but I kind of hate it. And, I'm actually mad because before this season, I said to them, I said, why does the number one defense never get the D point? Like, you would think the team with the number one defense likely has the best defender on it. And the last 4 years, that's been an Alyssa Thomas team. in the 1 year that it's not Alyssa Thomas' team, somebody gets voted. And that's not to say that Atlanta Smith did not deserve it. Good job, Wiki. But the 1 fucking year that Alyssa Thomas' team is not #1 in defense, y'all are giving votes to the lady who, like, are we sure? Are we sure? Again, and again, it's not to say that Asia or Atlanta didn't deserve it. I get it. Makes sense. But I'm just like, this feels so ironic, and obviously the goalpost is always going to move because it has to. Like, every season is different. You have to like contextualize stuff in a different way every year. But I'm just like, can we please, like, at what point is the goalpost gonna land with Alyssa Thomas standing in the middle? Like, at what point are we gonna be able to be like, yeah, she fits this criteria perfectly. Let's actually reward her efforts. And I'm not saying that we should just be giving her one out of pity. Low key, y'all should have did it this year. But anyway, this was the perfect year to do it if y'all were gonna do it. But I'm not saying because you don't need to do that, right? Like, she is deserving. The numbers make sense. You can make a case without having to like write a fan fiction about it. Like, this, the material is present. But it's just, I don't know, and I feel like it's easy for people to say, oh well, she's not gonna win, so, or she hasn't won, so it makes it easier for people to discredit her, what her career and what her resume has looked like. But I don't know, I just, it really bothers me because, especially because I had somebody say to me, well, not doing something that has never been done is not a reason for MVP. But it's like, if you're doing some shit that nobody else done, like, how can you not be? Like, how can you not be? Like, how could that not make you better than better than everybody else? Like,
I feel like that has to at least factor into the case. Like, whether you want to say, oh, I don't, it's like that doesn't make or break your case for me. Sure, whatever. Case MVP cases can be complicated, but if you're doing something that nobody else has done, and I'm saying you deserve to be MVP, yes, I'm gonna bring that up because why wouldn't I?
and it's like any other stat, like, it should carry, like, you know what I mean? Like, it would carry. Like, Asia breaking the scoring record, that carried her. Like, I mean, again, she was deserving of the MVP last year, so that's not to say that had she not done that, she wouldn't. But like, that's the prevailing narrative. Like, she scored 1,000 points in a season, something that's never been done before. That carried her through. So why can I not say, well, Alyssa Thomas is averaging 16, 8, and 9, something that nobody has ever done, and now she's done it twice, and she's a top 5 defense. Like, don't piss me off. I don't know. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna get off my soapbox about it, but at some point, like, we do have to, like, we can't keep making the excuse of, oh well, she's not gonna get, nobody's gonna acknowledge her anyway, so it's cool. Like, no, this is what y'all. I know a lot of y'all not getting paid, but this is the motherfuckers who is getting paid. This is what y'all get paid for. So like, let's
Like,
talk into
so,
work.
but also, Phoenix Media, this is on y'all too, because y'all should have been making like the AT machine did go up a little bit, but y'all got to make that push harder than that, and you got to make the push earlier.
On day one,
You,
actually, don't
yeah,
literally.
you got to get, yeah. Matter of fact, the first win of the season, start talking about it. MVP. It's like what it can't hurt you. It can't hurt you, so you might as well.
It really seemed like to Phoenix media, like they didn't think she was in the running for it. It seemed like everybody besides like the Aces social media team was like, well, this award is Fee's. And then like when Fee got hurt, Phoenix was like, maybe I can post these now. So they tried to hurry up and scramble some shit together. And it's just like, you were winning games with AT when no one else was on the team. Like y'all should have
Like
been saying
you
something.
had
From the jump.
you had Kai and Satu in and out of the lineup, and y'all were still
Y'all were
like
top 3
at the
Like
right,
the
a
like
whole
top
y'all were.
three.
time.
Yeah.
I was like, come on now. That
Y'all
that is the
beat
time to make. That's the time to make the push.
y'all beat some of the best teams in the league with AT and friends. Like y'all should have been saying something, and y'all waited entirely too long. Um, so yes, this is on Phoenix Media. Phoenix Media needs to make her talk. That's also the other thing, is that I think everyone other NBA and like it's not fair to her, but you gotta do what you gotta do. If she want the hardware, she gonna have to say something. So
She does. She
it
does.
it
Because
it
it do be working. You know, the moment you say
it
that whistle
worked.
bad,
You need a story, and
Yeah.
AT don't got one. I mean, she has one, but it's not manufactured by herself. Like they're gonna have to help her create her own story. Because I mean, Fee, of course, had the runner-up narrative and like coming back and like trying to revenge tour and all this other stuff. And then Asia had I mean, Asia's Asia, so she didn't really have to say much because she's been speaking for herself for so long. Um, and then once they started winning, everybody started popping their shit because it's like, man, this is what I do. But AT is like she's never won a major award before. Um, and she don't talk. Like she go to work and go home. So I'm pretty sure during All-Star weekend she also went to work and went home. They gonna have to make her stay out. She gonna have to be on two streams. I know she don't want to, but if you want this MVP award, you got to put in that work off the court. You put in enough work on it. You want to put in some work off of it.
at least get in the presser and be like, bitch, I'm a superstar. Like, and they need to treat me as such. Like, I don't know. Like, you need to get in there and pop your shit a little bit. And then the
Like
funny thing to me is
No,
that she talks shit on the
when
court. Like,
when
just bring it to the press room.
Right.
when they played that game against Minnesota, and they asked her, they was
She
like, "How
said
was it?"
she got to guard me too.
Yeah, when they were talking about her guarding Fee, she said, "Nah, Fee got to guard me too." I was like,
Oh,
well,
I ain't
that
never heard
game
her
was
do act,
nasty because
I never heard her do act like this before.
she
I was
only
like,
scored 2
"What?"
points after that.
Hey, look, it don't
and I
matter.
didn't care.
But listen,
I
We
listen.
didn't
won the
care
series after that.
because she got the
So,
quote and the quote was cold, so it just mattered to me.
Yeah, it was like okay, and then second half went the way it went, but
hey, look,
that's
she bounced back in the second game. She said, "My
she
bad,
did.
y'all. I was just tired. I got you." Like, you just gotta
I
sometimes you gotta sow the seed. Let it
I
grow a little
need
bit.
more quotes from her. I think her best quote is when she didn't win the 20 I think it was
2023.
2022 MVP or the one where it was her, Stewie, and Asia vying for it.
Oh,
Or no,
that's
it was
23
2023.
when she won
And
the
she
most
was
votes.
and she
She
was
had the most first
like
place. Yeah,
and she was like, if this season happens again, it will be by me.
And bitch, they should
That's
have wrote that shit again. Like
that's
Phoenix
the
should have
shit, and
ran
I
that
need
shit
her saying more
every game.
often. Like when
Oh!
they ask her about some triple doubles, I need her to be like, there's some slight shit. Everybody, niggas can't do what I do. That's the type of energy I need her to have next
I'm not.
season.
Yeah,
Oh,
she got to start. She got to start saying, "Y'all not cut like that."
Bro,
But
they should have ran
when
that fucking quote all year, bro, because she literally did the shit again. Like
when
literally
and
did the shit
better.
again.
next
And she
season,
actually did it better this time, bitch.
She literally did.
I'm pissing all over. I was trying not to be mad
next
about it, but I'm mad again.
next season when she had 25, 15, and 10 with 3 steals and 2 blocks, I need her to be like, how many people done that? Let me just say, and see how many times my name in that. Oh, it's only my name in that. Oh, my bad. I just wanted to check. I just wanted to make sure. I damn, it's a lot of AT out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of it too.
Just
But
hey, somebody show this to AT. If you need pull up 3 on your social media team, we we will get you MVP. Me, Jermaine, and Jay will make sure you win an MVP award next year. If you put up the numbers, the narrative will be there. It will get nasty. but it will be there.
I will learn how to do the TikTok edits this winter. I will be prepared for opening day.
Man, if Asia scored 45, I'm gonna be like, man, there's a lot of niggas that score 45. I, I bet you there's more people that score 45 than got a triple double.
20-10-10.
It's,
Come on now.
Come on now. Score is overrated. Everybody do that shit. Put the ball. Ain't nothing better than helping. I'm helping niggas put the ball in
15
the basket.
assists.
I'm so charitable. I'm helping niggas putting the ball in the basket. Y'all not charitable. That's y'all problem. She had the most points generated out of everybody in the league. Why I have to find out that stat from the Kais?
And after the fact, no less.
Y'all not on y'all job.
Y'all not on y'all's own. AT is gonna get nasty. And I'm sorry, Jermaine, but when Caitlin put up a triple double, we're gonna have to be like, it's not an AT1. You see all the mistakes?
How many turnovers? 7 turnovers.
Because once she get an MVP, it's over. Like it's over. So we actually do need to get AT in there before this lady get going.
I'm gonna be like, Kayla might have had a triple double, but she ain't carry the defense as well. That shit not the same. That shit not the same. So now that we have aired our grievances and whatnot, what are your expectations next year? And are there players that you would prefer to keep? Are there players that you think you may want?
If there is a year.
Yes.
Hoping there's a year.
Oh, well.
Our caveat is always if.
Yeah.
They thought they were slick being like, yeah, next All-Star weekend is in Chicago. Okay.
Yeah, bitch, they done pissed me off because now Adam Silver gonna have to see me. You gonna ruin it for my favorite city? Yeah. All right. We gonna be getting it done.
They knew not to announce that shit with no dates.
They did. It's July 25th.
No, they did not.
They did. It is. It's July 25th. It's at United Center. I remember.
They did. Yeah, they did.
It is. Adam Silver.
That's crazy that they
arrested.
That's crazy that they release dates when we don't have dates for an expansion draft that's supposed to happen theoretically in two months.
The season will start on July 25th. So how you gonna have All-Star weekend on July 25th?
Exactly.
If you was All-Star last year,
there's gonna be no All-Star weekend next year.
Welcome back.
Okay, look, Kathy got it up. They said, yeah, so when do you anticipate the expansion draft to look back? Kathy was like, yeah, it'll probably be the same thing. Like, girl, did you read the rules last year? Because I don't think they can really apply if we really think about it. I don't know. Like,
unless yeah, the expansion situation is going to be really, really crazy, especially because not even half, like 75% of the league is unrestricted free agents.
Yeah.
I think they're just about to make up the rules on the spot. It's going to be like, do you feel like going to this team or not?
To answer your question, I would like to run back at least the core of the team. Like, I think AT obviously for sure, and Ka, and I don't think Satu. I don't think there's anywhere for her to go, respectfully. I'm not trying to be mean. I thought I had mixed feelings on her. She had some great moments in the playoffs that I was really impressed by. So I will give her that for sure. But yeah, I think like I love Sammy. Obviously, I love DB. I don't know what the situation is there. like in terms of what she wants to do with her career and everything. And obviously I'm sure that depends on CBA and whatever. But obviously I love her. I love Natasha Mack. I love Kat Westbeld. Monica Komakani is my MVP. Personally, love her to death. Would die for her, would protect her with everything. So she has to stay. She's more I would keep her over like Satu, to be completely honest, if it came down to a choice between them. Um is that
They
great?
would be battling for the last spot.
No,
But
no, no. They wouldn't be, but I just mean like if there's like a protection scenario.
I think if they have to put so in their 6 that Phoenix will have to do, DB doesn't have to be. I'm pretty sure DB's been cored, and I think AT's been cored twice. So I don't think you would even have to protect either one of them.
Yeah, so then I'm protecting Ha, Satu, Sammy, Mac, Monique, and probably Kat is what I would do. So I would leave Lexi and Lexa, but I feel like Nate already like ruled them out of the lineup or out of the rotation towards the end of the season. Poor Lexi, Stewie popped her lung and she was never the same after that. So Stewie's big ass is to blame for that. That's what happened. It was literally her ass.
No, literally, Stewie should have got a foul for that too.
She
Like they
literally
didn't even
sat on her
literally
chest.
fell on that lady, and they just kept moving. Like that girl, she almost crushed her.
He
Like,
literally did. Like,
and the thing that made me mad about is that Stewie didn't even need to do that. Like she was doing too much. She was doing too much
she
in that
was.
moment. And everybody was like, "Well, it was an accident." I was like, "I'm sure it was, but Stewie didn't need to do all that. Like it was
And
not that."
Hey,
Lexi had to
accidents
take
ain't
the
never meant
Amtrak.
shit.
She had to take the Amtrak train from New York to Phoenix.
It was like 2 days.
That
I got to ride an Amtrak for 2 days because you punctured my lung. I would never forgive her.
I would be pissed. I would be. And that's why we had to beat them, because it was about Lexi's lung, payback for the lung.
That's real. That is very real to do. Interesting. I would not be saying, look, Sammy, it was fun, but sister, you got to go.
She's another one, remember earlier when we were talking about people that you just can't let go of. For me, Sammy is one of those people because she went to UW, I went to UW. So she was like the
Seattle fan.
OG Sammy, where she went Seattle. Like I just like love her. She had so many big moments in the playoffs. She had so many disappearing moments also, but you just can't blame her at this age. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, she's just one of those players that I'm just like, oh, I just love her. But yeah, no, I mean, I definitely would understand also being like, your time has come, Sammy. And we definitely do need more. They definitely do need more shooting, because like, yes, they made it all through the season and they made it to the finals with the shooting that they had. But I do think some of that, like Sammy Whitcomb, I think was like the best shooter in the WNBA last year in the regular season, or one of them. And so, I'm not 100% sure that you can count on that happening again next year. So yeah, I would definitely like to see them require some more shooting and real backup five. Like if he's not going to care, which I here's my thing, and why I'm also frustrated with Nate is like, And I get, like, I understand people. I had to delete my Kalani Brown tweet in the playoffs because people were just being so mean on her, and I didn't want her to see it or whatever, just because people were being so mean. And that was not my goal, because I was literally like, why is he not even trying Kalani Brown? Like, I get nobody's going to be able to guard Asia Wilson. Nobody can stop Asia Wilson. We have 1-6-7 player on the roster. Maybe let's just see what happens if we put her out there, especially when the Aces are playing Chelsea Gray at power forward. Like, maybe let's just use some size and just see what happens. He didn't want to try that until game 4. Meanwhile,
He
Kalani
was
Brown is
forced to try it.
one of 2 vets in the WNBA, I'm pretty sure, who are signed for next year, and she is one of them. So, like, we've already bought in on that regard. And again, I get it. Like, you're in the finals, it's a tight rotation. You don't want to, like, give up anything defensively, whatever the situation is. We were already down. You know what I mean? I don't know. The whole thing just bothers me. And anyways, regardless, we have Kalani Brown on the roster next year, if there is a next year. So they either need to figure out how to use her, or they need to figure out how to get her to somewhere where she can be used, because otherwise we're just wasting a roster spot. And in the meanwhile, we actually do need a competent backup big, because I love Natasha Mack, and I do think she actually did great and really held her own as a starter for most of the season. But we need somebody to back up that spot. And cannot expect AT to play tons of minutes at the 5, like, right now at this stage in the league. Like, that's just crazy to me. So yeah, I think that's like my biggest thing, is they really need to get that position solidified.
I think I would save Kalani instead of Sammy. And if you're really not going to use her, I feel like she is a valuable enough asset to where you could probably trade her for someone. Like, I don't, and the thing about the Mercury's roster is that you don't really need a big swing. Like, assuming you get your big 3 back, you don't really need a big swing. You just need competent, somebody who's either going to you really need just a little bit of offense, because you can count on Monique and AT for sure for the defense, and you're counting on Ka and Satu for the offense. So you kind of need somebody to do a little bit of both, but like, you might want to lean at least on the rebounding, like somebody to get in there and rebound the ball. And if you don't feel like Kalani can do it, at least you can trade like size for, agility. I don't know, but you know what I mean? Like, you can trade
Right.
thing for thing. But somebody feels like, okay, I can like definitely use Kalani. She got in that game and she immediately had like 4 and 4 in her like 10 minutes that she played. Like,
Exactly.
if she was prepared, she might have did better. But again, that's neither nor there. I feel like I would save her and then like trade her if you're really not gonna play her, which it just, I don't know. I don't know if I would want to be around that man anyway, because like, why are you playing with me?
Right.
Did the same thing during the season. It's like, you need to play her. You would complain about not having rebounding. Your 6'7" big is on the bench. You get in the game, you finally have to use her. Your rebounding improves, shocker to no one. And then you put her back on the bench. I don't understand. Like, if you got personal beef, you need to leave it at home.
Well, and people are like, oh, well, she's too slow, whatever. He wouldn't even play her against BG. That is what really killed me when they play Atlanta and they're literally playing BG. I'm like, there is maybe nobody else in the WNBA that you could say is like more if you really want to say that's like how you're going to pigeonhole Kalani, which I don't think is fair to do, but if you are going to do that and be like, well, she's just too slow and she can't be on BG, like you can't throw her out there and try that against another 6'7" player who tends to be on the slower side. Like, okay, if she can't get in to play against BG, that's when I was like, okay, she's fully out of the rotation. Which again, yeah, that's how you end up in the situation you are in the end of the playoffs, where now you're playing her and throwing her in the deep end when you haven't played her the entire playoffs for God knows what reason. Even in blowouts, he was like not playing her. It was like, are we for real right now? Just odd.
Yeah, I didn't. It felt like there were moments during the season where, and including in the playoffs, where it felt like Nate Tibbett was too stubborn when it came to the rotations. It was kind of like, this is what I've already decided, and this is what I'm gonna stick with. And it's like it felt like even when presented with new information, even he was like, I'm still gonna stick with it because that's what got me to this point. And like part of me is like, okay, I get it. Like you got this far, you kind of feel like, no, I'm sticking to my guns, I'm sticking with what got me here. But at some point, you have to feel like, okay, the matchup changes, maybe I should try something different. And it just felt like that never came.
Yeah.
If we could make a change, I know he made the finals and he the
Hey,
highest paid coach,
what
but
they said about Sandy? If you don't believe in that process,
No. See, this is my thought process when it comes to coaches. If you don't know if your coach is the right coach, you fire the coach.
mhm,
So it was like the Liberty chose not to move on from Sandy Brandello. They wanted to, I fully believe they wanted to fire Sandy in 2023.
and they should have.
But they were
They
like,
really
no.
should have.
They were like,
They
no, we
really
just
should have.
they're like, no, we just made the finals. And then 2024, they win the finals. So you really can't fire her now. And then 2025, you lose in the first round, her contract is up, and now you like, okay, we can just wash our hands and be done with this. But it goes back to y'all knew then. Y'all knew then that I don't know if she the right one for this team. And if that's the case, it's better to move on sooner rather than later.
yeah, but
I don't think Phoenix is going to fire Nate Tibbett. Actually, I think the fact that they made the finals is going to empower them, like empower that decision. And I also think that Lindsey Harding may be leaving. I think that she might be getting a head coaching opportunity somewhere.
Get her
So
away from them nasty ass Lakers, Lord, please, if you hear me.
Lindsey Harding, I feel like the success of Nate Tibbett is going to lead to more coaches with NBA experience. Now, Lindsey Harding is a little bit different just because she played in the W, so that does help. And also on the Mercury bench, you got Chrissy Tolliver. She could be gone because I can see they say, well, that Phoenix team just made the finals. And she's got NBA experience. She's got experience on the W bench.
She's the real
And
reason we made the finals.
I'm
come
not
on,
gonna say this too loud. Actually, I will. He got ejected and they went on a run. I won't say that those things are related.
I will
She
tell you
became the
that
head coach.
I will tell you
And
that he also did every pregame speech for them and every like opening set for them. Um and I was inspired from my many rows away as I watched her at the 3 games that I went to. Um I was like, wow, I have chills just like 20 rows away watching Christy Tolliver in the huddle speaking. And I was like, I have no idea what she's saying, but I have chills just knowing it's probably something very impassioned. Um, and AT, he admitted multiple times that plays, even in the playoffs, were, things AT drew up on her clipboard. So it was really AT's clipboard. And this is what also bothers me is like, now everybody's like, wow, see, the NBA to WNBA model is working. That's why Nate Tibbett's had so much success this year. And it's like, no. If you're going to give one white man success in the Phoenix Mercury organization, it should be Nick Urin because he's the one who assembled that roster. And whichever scout was watching Monica Koamakani and told him to sign her, especially and to sign Kat Westfeld, like whoever is watching those overseas players, that scout and Nick Urin, we really want to be like, oh, one of these men has to be responsible for what happened. But if we really want to say who's actually responsible for the Mercury's success, it's one person, and that person is Alyssa Thomas. Because again, I go back to the fact that like BG and DT were gone, and what I worried about the most genuinely, like on a macro level, is like, are they going to be like the Phoenix Suns in the sense that they literally just lack an identity and you don't know? And I think the worst position to be in as a fan, at least for me, is like even worse than just being a god awful team is not feeling like your team has a direction. Like that's what I think is so painful about being like in the middle if you're like a Chicago Bulls fan or like something where like for years they're just like they're not going up, they're not going down, they're not tanking for a new player, they're not, going on a finals run. You don't know what they are trying to do, and that was like my concern is, are they just going to be in no man's land now? Like they have no prospects, they have no future. Like what are we going to do? um and Alyssa Thomas just showed up, and she is like, I think she proved that she's a franchise player by every definition. I think sometimes people overuse that, like, or it just has become like, well, every franchise has a player. But I think there's a difference between being a franchise's player versus being a franchise player. And Alyssa Thomas is a franchise player. You could literally put her on any team and like she's gonna make her mark and make that team like her. Like that team is gonna have an identity. They're gonna play like her. And you can watch them. And even when she's not on the court, they play like with her essence. And there aren't many players like that, I don't think, in sports. And I just feel like that's like what's really special about her is and I wasn't sure if that was going to transfer because obviously she's only ever been on Connecticut. And so I was like, you kind of don't know if you're like, well, is that the organization or is that her or is it both? Is it like the marriage between them that created that identity? And I think the cool thing is that it seems like it was both because I feel like Connecticut kept that energy. Like they managed. I was worried also about the other way. I was like, is Connecticut going to lose that, like that dog energy, that like, I don't know what you call that, but like the the chip on the shoulder, I guess, is like how AT plays to me, where it's just always like, I don't know, just like she always plays like she's like fighting from a place of nobody paying attention, which is because she always has. And I feel like the Connecticut Sun had some of that, and she brought that energy to Phoenix, who are historically not underdogs like in the WNBA on a macro scale, who are like a storied franchise, but kind of we're back in like an underdog era with losing DT and BG and like kind of falling into bad seasons. Um, and yeah, I just think that's like the biggest takeaway for me ultimately from the season is I feel like the Mercury have an identity and they have a culture and they built that a lot quicker than I thought they were going to be established to be able to establish that.
We have mentioned this in every episode, but Nate being so vocal about him not knowing their names is probably one of the most egregious things that a coach has ever
It's just like,
just openly.
like, why say that?
He's the worst.
And again,
Unprovoked too. We didn't need to know that. We didn't need to know that.
unprovoked. There was never a question on, do you know these niggas' names?
It's like you just wanted us
and you
you just wanted
should.
us to know. You wanted us to know because you knew everybody was gonna be like, oh, okay.
Incompetence. Just fucking incompetence. We can't keep letting it go get away with this, bro. That would just never admit that. Like, this is
So
not a good thing to admit. It's just like not a good thing to admit. And it made me mad because it's like you was watching film. Was you watching film on mute? Are there no is there no announcers in the background? Like, what's going on?
Also, these rosters are so small. I could literally probably name 90% of every WNBA roster, and I'm like a literal no, just a regular
And
fan.
not a head coach.
And like so I just like can't I just cannot. That's what also bothers me though when like W fans and like even like reporters and stuff, and I'm not trying to be like, I understand I like have a weird thing where I'm like weirdly good at remembering names and like spellings of names, but it grinds my gears so deeply when I see people mess up basic things. The Aaliyahs, it is not that hard to remember that Aaliyah Edwards has two A's and Aaliyah Boston has one A. Like I just it's like I'm like, how is this so hard for you guys to remember? Maybe I'm just the crazy one. And I just am like, but I'm like, how is this for like real people who like follow the league? How do you not know that's or the people who are still capitalizing the J in Asia in 2025? All those MVPs, we're still doing this? Like, are we for real right now? I just don't. That's just sorry. I'm just that's just a random soapbox of mine, but it just really, I just don't get it. I'm like, am I the crazy one? Like, but I'm like, there's
now,
only
I
150 of them. It's not that many.
when it's your job, it is certain very basic things you should be able to pronounce, you should be able to say. It's like this is your job. Like if you're a fan and you fuck it up, it's like okay. Like
Kathy with Coach of the Year,
Oh girl. It was
Yeah.
so secondhand embarrassment. I said, sister,
straight to jail,
like
straight to
that's
jail,
your
sister,
job.
please.
Like
straight to jail.
when my friends be trying to talk to me about W and they'll like sometimes they'll say like Aja instead of Asia and I'll be like, you know what? You trying.
Reasonable.
You
Right.
trying.
Reasonable.
Yes.
Or like
Because you're
they'll
not
be
because that's not your job.
that's not
Right.
your you're getting into sport, you're excited, like you just they be like, who's like what's that person's name again? Like Sabali? Like Sabali? I'm like,
I've
you know
heard
what?
I've heard that
You're
one a few times actually.
you're
Yeah.
you're trying your damnedest. I appreciate that. But
You
like
sounded that out.
you
Yeah.
get paid, your money goes into your checking account to to cover this game. And you fuck it up. Come on.
But you know what? We should have known that the Kathy whacking was coming when she mispronounced that lady name. Like that really should
Yeah.
have been the beginning. That was kind of low key the beginning of the end. Because how did you do that? Like, how did you do that? I know you've had to say that lady's name before. You actually did because she mentioned her in a fucking. She was in an interview like a week or a day before, and she said the lady name right. So I'm like, you know that lady name. How did you? Like, was you nervous? You see these people every day. I don't know.
She might have been nervous. You know, when you be like, all right, this is how you say this. I'm not gonna fuck this up. I'm not gonna fuck this up. I'm not gonna fuck this up. Then you fuck it up.
Poor
She might
You
have been,
thing.
but
talking
it's another one
time.
of those things. It's no excuse if that's your
Yeah, like
whole
it's just gonna
entire job.
Yeah, you got 13 head coaches, sister. You gotta know
Because you're not messing that up if it's whoever, CEO of Deloitte.
them.
So I don't want to hear it, Catherine. I'm sick of her.
Oh,
I'm a mother. I have 2 kids.
No, she is literally the funniest person in the world for that.
Nasty
I
work.
fear. I at that moment I knew she did everything they said she did. But it was a great deflection. It was excellent work. Excellent
You know,
work.
immediately when she didn't deny it, like, and the league has been doing this over and over again recently, where even today with this statement they're putting out, they're like, no, I can't believe it's very surprising and upsetting that they would say that. That's the narrative that they're running with, just like the same thing that Kathy went with. Oh, it's very surprising and hurtful. It's really hurtful and upsetting to hear that she would characterize it that way. Oh yeah, it's really surprising and upsetting that the WNBPA would characterize it as if we're not offering revenue share. Yeah, didn't say you weren't offering it, but just said
no, it's
it's suspicious. Like
the
this is
the framing, and the PR spin has been very funny. It's been very funny to see.
It
But
has peaked.
yeah.
Who did Mercury even have a draft pick? Because I feel like they gave all of it as a way to get 18.
So
No, I looked it up actually. They have
the Mercury have the 27th pick in the draft this year.
and the 42nd pick. We have the 42nd pick too.
And the 42nd pick, yes.
Okay, so y'all ain't even gotta worry about getting nobody. Like, it's cool. Don't even worry about it.
Y'all gonna have 2 training camp invites.
They better hope they even get that far, because they might even trade them away anyway.
Hey,
so you know what?
If we get these 15 people spots,
they gonna make the
they
thing.
can be on the team.
Let's for shits and giggles. Let's see who they have y'all drafting.
That's what I was gonna see.
Micah Gray from Oklahoma State. I do not know who that is.
I've never heard of her. Yeah.
I actually do need her, because I said that yesterday, and
This one. Oh wait. Oh no, the same one.
You see a picture of her. I feel like I should. I'll watch a little. Okay. Oh, okay. Hold on.
Oh, she's a point guard.
Yeah. Or a guard. Have I seen her before? She looks well. No.
I'm so sorry, but I just got a notification. Most points in NBA debut since Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh,
For
VJ Edgecombe?
VJ Edgecombe.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Period.
That's nuts.
5 assists is her most assists.
I mean, college basketball, we got a whole season to play. And you never know. You never know how the draft can shake out.
We really have no idea.
I guess I need to see. Let me look at last year's draft and see.
That's what I had be wanting to track, like who people are predicting and then where they actually go. I've been wanting to keep up with that, but I always forget.
Because if I look at last year's draft, the 27th pick.
I mean, it's hard. It's been hard the last several years because you don't even know who's going to declare. Last year, everybody thought Seattle thought they were going to draft Livy Miles.
She said,
right. So last year, the 27th pick was JJ Quinterly.
Exactly. A steal.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So,
you know,
you never know. You never know. So sometimes it can just shake your way.
Hey man, they can get. We talked about this yesterday because Ace is around there, but the people around Phoenix, you got Kahleah Smikle. If Kahleah Smikle fall that far, I might take a swing on her. Cara Dunn, Hannah Stolke, Ladine, I think it's Ladine. You don't know, but We'll see if the Mercury actually keep a draft pick. Like, when's the last time they actually kept a draft pick?
Let's see. They did not. They traded all of their picks in last year's draft.
I don't think they got
Let's
one in
let's
2023. Oh no,
in
they
20.
had Sam. What's her name in 2022?
Let's see. Okay, in 2024,
20 wait,
in 2024, they did draft Charisma Osborne in the third round.
and Jazz Shelley.
She did play. Charisma did play for that a couple of weeks. She was there for a
The
little bit.
last first rounder they drafted was in 2020. They took Jocelyn Willoughby with the 10th pick.
Oh, girl.
Okay.
She was on
Yeah.
New York for. Did she even play for them? She was on New York for a little bit.
I don't think she did.
She
She's kind of
she
another like
played. Let's see.
small guard. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she did.
She went to the Liberty
She's
right away.
a wing. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. That's
so
what I
she
thought.
never even played for. She never
But
even
then they
played for
also
Phoenix.
drafted the other first round pick before that would be 2019, and that's guess who? Atlanta Smith, the overall pick.
You know.
Everybody forgets Atlanta Smith's history in Phoenix, and guess who would be actually perfect on this roster right now?
Yeah,
Would. Hey,
that
Ouch.
would
look,
be.
the girls are saying that the Lynx are gonna blow it up, so we might can call her back. New roster
I
design.
If
actually
the
do think
if the Lynx if the Lynx blow it up, like I know
I
we
think they
haven't even
might,
got.
if they blow it up, they might get rid of Courtney. I don't think they're gonna get rid of Atlanta
But
Smith,
even then, though, even then, like if I'm
who the
looking at
Mercury also drafted, by the way. Wah, wah. Sorry.
if I'm looking at like expansion and like protections and all of that, even if the Lynx want to get rid of Courtney Williams, you have to protect her. He's like
Oh
y'all come
yeah.
get her. He's like
Oh
y'all come
yeah.
get her.
You get something for Courtney for sure.
I'm thinking. Okay, so all right, so like now it's time to dream big. Who do you want? Everybody's a free agent. Who are you like? Please send her to me.
My dream. I mean, I'm trying to think about, I gotta stop thinking with I gotta think about actual basketball and not
You
just
think it?
like
Think it?
dreams and it, like,
Hey,
oh, it would
look,
be
you
so
get
fun and
you
cute.
look. A vibes pick is important. It's very
Some
important.
vibes are more important than talent. I would never. If the shit,
Okay,
if everybody happy, you would win so many games.
I mean, it would
so
be really sick if Angel came to Phoenix.
okay.
That would be, I think AT and Angel could be really, really fun together. Um,
That might be that might be the way to get AT her depoy. Cause you need all hands on deck on the defensive end. Cause y'all that rating got to go up.
Yeah.
That's the only way we're gonna get there.
Jamae is gonna hate this one, but I
If you wanted to say
also
Kelsey Mitchell, keep it to yourself. So keep it to yourself. Don't disrespect me right now.
that she would be so. I'm not saying I'm just saying in a hypothetical scenario where she decided the city of Indianapolis no longer suited her. Um, I would love to have her in any capacity. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought, wow, she was so, so, so good this year.
I'm saying
That
that
was the
pick is
other thing too.
low key
Okay, this
though.
is
Kelsey Mitchell and AT in a little pick and roll. That shit will eat. I fear. I fear
Kelsey
it will eat.
Mitchell on the Mercury screams title favorites to me.
that. I
Really?
mean,
Favorites.
Favorites feels is a stretch for me,
I
but
would be and I think
I mean, how do you?
I
That's
think
just like really would get
well, okay, let me
unfair.
say this. I think they would not lose to the Aces again.
okay.
No,
Because you just like have uh Asia might have AT number, but Kelsey Mitchell got everybody in the Aces number. So I mean, this is just a battle of will at this point. I didn't mean to do the balloons, but you really got the perfect Aces counter at this point if the Aces don't get any people that are better small guard defenders. But those are very hard to come by, and then niggas can't guard Kelsey Mitchell anyway. Like, if we're being honest. So I mean, if if and Aaliyah is a very good passer for her size, but you get AT setting Kelsey Mitchell up. Oh, Jesus Christ.
nasty,
Jesus Christ.
nasty.
I would say I mean I can we gonna talk about it on the Indiana review, but like the Kelsey Mitchell Aaliyah Boston pick and roll, like I don't think the world was prepared for that, like at all. And we talked about Monique and AT's like pick and roll or what you call it, the reverse pick and roll, whatever it's called. Um, Kelsey Mitchell in one of those with AT. I do see the vision, but you will not be getting it. Because Indiana is going to pay her whatever they say that the top of the top is $3 billion. Kelsey Mitchell will be getting it. So you don't have to worry about her. We don't have to worry about that. Who would I want on the Mercury? Honestly, I feel like the obvious choice is Bree Jones.
I was literally just thinking about Bree Jones.
Damn, Jay.
I love Bree Jones.
Sorry, but I do feel like she is the obvious choice.
I do agree. I do agree. See, here's the thing, and this is why when we did this last year, we talked about the dream. My dream signing for the dream was Bree Jones, and it's the teams that would want her is it's obvious why. So yeah, I agree. She would be a great fit for them. Obviously, I don't want her to go anywhere, but it would make perfect sense for Phoenix to try to make a move like that.
Maddy, what does a package for Angel look like to you?
Mm, it's tough because this is the tough thing is Angel's salary, I think makes things like weird, right? Because she's only on a rookie salary, but she's obviously worth a lot more. And because the Mercury don't have much draft capital, I don't know exactly what the rules are with like I don't think it's not exactly like the NBA where it's like the salaries you get into the aprons and the salaries have to like match perfectly. I think they're allowed to like absorb, but I don't know all the rules. Um, I think it would definitely have to involve one of either Satu or Ka. Um, and that's why I don't think the Angel is very realistic because I don't think you're getting one of Satu or Kahleah Copper to agree to go to Chicago.
They don't gotta agree. I mean,
Especially Chicago without Angel. That's true.
they
That
do
is
not have
true.
to agree.
It's funny because I don't believe in I don't think this will work as like a obviously a long term thing, but I think a Camilla and Satu pairing would be nice for like a
That
year or
sounds
two.
insane. Actually, don't put them together again.
I
Don't
think
do
Satu stretching the floor for Camilla would be kind of nice.
it.
Again, this is not no long term thing because Miss Run from the Grind just I'm not a that big of a fan. But The talent is there when she play. Her and Angel play about the same amount of time. So I can't even hold that against her too much. Because they be on the court just about the same amount. I think Camilla would thrive with someone who can space the floor, and that that AT
I
AT
think
AT Angel Kai and I don't know what else.
okay, but so how about but okay, wait, let's think about this. What if Chicago is like, you send me Monique and really we really just want, I mean, we might take Kit. We might take Kit. I don't, I think the lights got too bright for her, but we might can fix that. I think we might can fix that. You send me Monique and Kit and we send you Angel. Do you say yes?
That one's tough, tougher, but yeah, I say yes to that. And I love Monique, and I'm very high on Monique. Um, but I think the skill set that Angel has is is invaluable in basketball. And I think if there's one thing other than shooting that like the Mercury, because I guess the Mercury overall didn't really have issues shooting. I mean, the Aces series is kind of like its own thing, but I think if there's another thing that you look at with the Mercury that they had issues with was rebounding. Um, and again, that's, like if they want to beef up the forward position, the center position, um, but we know Angel, if there's one thing she's got to bring, it's rebounds, and that's like huge, especially on an Alyssa Thomas team to have. Also, the ability of both Angel and AT to bring the ball up the floor. Like, I mean, I just think that could create a lot of really interesting. But ideally, I would like to live in a universe where Nick could pull off a trade like that without giving up Monique and swindle
I would love
Jeffrey.
Monique in Chicago. They've been
Hey,
talking about needing a guard.
she's low key what they need. Like,
They've
I
needed a
would like
guard
I
for a
would
little
like that too.
minute. They need some spacing and they need some shooting. And
It's funny because
she
I
does
I
love
that.
her.
just saw I just saw a trade package and it says Monique, Catherine Westbeld, a first and a third for Angel.
I, I mean, that's a good deal on Chicago end. I don't know. To me, it's like,
That's a lot.
it's a lot. It's a lot, but one, they're trying to win now. My only thing from the Mercury lens is that you do need a point guard. So like, who are you going to
Right.
get?
Unless
And
they you know what the answer to that is gonna be. They're just gonna say, "Oh, AT is the point guard."
yeah, but that's not the answer. That's not really the
No,
answer. They in
no.
fact do need a point guard, and it's like, do you want to put yourself in the same position? Okay, we find a rookie overseas, and you know, we put him in there because you don't know if they're gonna be as successful as Monique was. I mean, you could swing, you could take a swing. I do think the Mercury are in a position to like take a swing, and like, you might as well. Like, you have nothing to lose at this point. Y'all ain't got no drafts. Y'all ain't got no, I don't know, draft capital. Y'all really not trying to. When your owner came in, he already said he ain't want to start from the bottom. So you might as well seemingly try. Um, and if you're Chicago, I mean, Monique and Kat are like pieces that you want, like pieces that you kind of need. And Catherine Westbeld is a good piece. I mean, her and her sister kind of play similar roles. I think Catherine is bigger than Maddy. But you could play her. I think you could play Cat with Camilla. You need somebody who's an actual point guard who can actually run the offense. You could probably get more out of HVL. You know, you lose out on Angel scoring, but you have somebody to set up Ariel and Rachel and I mean, I don't know, assuming all these people come back, right? As soon as they keep most of their same roster. You have somebody to kind of like to fix some of the issues that you had this season. Right now, the scoring is going to matter, but like having a point guard will probably fix a lot of that. And an aggressive Camilla in year 3, like I feel like it's a good deal from the Chicago side. I mean, I feel like it's pretty fair. Even if they drop off a draft pick, I feel like that's kind of fair. But I don't know if the point guard thing would be concerning to me from the Mercury perspective. And there are people you can go get, but also we gotta start thinking about the Mercury's vibes. And all 4 of those people are crash outs.
It
Right.
will be.
So
It will be. There will be some chaotic.
and you
Yeah.
likely won't have DeWanna Bonner. So you do need to think about who gonna be cool.
It's
Also, I don't
really
know if they're keeping, I don't know if an AT Satu Angel, that's a lot of non-shooting. Like, yeah, Satu can shoot, but like she can't shoot like like that, you know? So I feel like that could be, I don't know if I feel like it's a if the Mercury are getting Angel, Satu would have to be either part of the package or out of the picture potentially, or they're really gonna finagle something interesting. Because yeah, I just don't know about all 3 of them like sharing the court a ton of minutes together either, and that's in that scenario. And I think at this point too, you have to wonder like a little bit about the chemistry and the like sort of the division of like you know, how much do we want to mess with the vibes that got us to the finals, and how much do we want to just like run back and tweak some things while also recognizing that there were weaknesses that like held us back in the regular season and the postseason.
math says 4 negatives make it positive.
Are we sure?
Because you know 2 negatives make a positive. So it's only like
I don't know if the math
it's
work
all-
like that because then you
So
gotta
two-
do
The
because you'll be 2.
the 2 double negatives make a positive.
yeah.
We gotta see the numbers on that. I don't know.
Everybody gonna cancel each other out. Listen, either they gonna fight by mid-season or they gonna win a championship. Sometimes you gotta roll the dice.
Hey, look, again, they gotta take a swing somehow. So I guess
They gonna take a swing, and either they gonna swing for that championship or they gonna swing on each other. Let's make it happen. Let's get you know what we say. Let's get negative.
I guess, look, as long as it ain't look, they ain't my team. I don't care.
Also, see, but this is one of those things where it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and let this team that I don't root for do that. Absolutely.
They got it. Fuck it, try it. Fuck it, we ball.
Yeah, like see what happens. Y'all can be the guinea pigs. We'll see what it looks like.
Hey, look, the 4 negatives might work. I would like to see it actually. What do we think about sending Sawtooth to Seattle for NECA? Because they probably gonna blow it up too, I fear. I hate to say that to you, Maddy. My bad, I forgot. I forgot. I take that back. I take that back.
I don't. That sounds delightful. If Seattle's really gonna start over, I know we have made fun of Satu being like Miss If, like, but I mean, she's not a bad player to be like, if we starting over, just giving her the keys and calling it a day. Like, go ahead and take as many shots as you want. Let's figure this. But you do what you gotta do. We'll lose, but we gonna get me some draft picks and
Well, she
call it a
ain't
day.
really gonna be the star because you got Dominique Malonga right there. They gonna say pass her the ball.
Skylar will wring Satu's neck.
Oh, Skylar is not in this opinion. She
No, no,
wait.
no,
Okay.
She
no.
can't be there. She
It's
once
it's
Nneka
Okay, all right.
goes,
Because
Skylar
I was
goes.
like, AT almost killed Satu in the playoffs, and I think Skylar
hey, I just want to
would
say
literally.
that
Skylar
that
gotta go.
that that Satu tech in game one was one of the like dumbest techs I've seen in a
It
minute.
was
Because
so soft. It was
why'd you
so
do that?
soft.
It
No,
It
was
was
so
it was a weak tech, but also you can't do that right there.
She's so
Like you
stupid. Oh, AT's reaction literally just killed me though, because AT was literally just like, and I love AT because AT's always just like, just yells and she's so bad, but then she's immediately just like in the huddle. She's like, "What the fuck was that? What the fuck?" And then she's like, "Okay, okay, we're fine." You could just see the like immediate reaction of her being like, "What the fuck?" And then she immediately is just like, "Okay, okay, moving on, moving on."
sometimes you just gotta yell a little bit and then you good. It ain't nothing crazy.
Exactly, exactly.
But yes, so Skylar would not be in the picture. So it will be Satu, Jordan Horston, and Dominic Malanga. Probably for like Satu could be there for like 2 years before she do some other stuff.
That
That's
lady
not a
is getting
bad
out of there mid-season. You tripping.
that's
She
not a
will be on
bad
her way out by All-Star
that's not a
break.
bad starting over point. And then NECA and AT.
Look, we was just talking about
Mm.
how, like, you know, the MVPs are linking up. You know, Candace had her Asia moment. Stewie and JJ was out there. AT need her. You know what I'm saying? She need her. One. And I think Becca is the perfect one because she is level-headed, but she's also like very locked in, very clutch time, very I've been here before. We got this, you know, efficient.
Mm-hmm.
That lady is
Amen.
efficient. Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Now that man probably gonna piss her off because you know she's a mid-range queen, but he gonna have to suck it up. I
Yeah,
feel.
I ain't even think about that.
That's NECA. Yeah, no, it's not her team anyways. It's AT's, so she can report to AT on that regard.
And AT gonna say, "Girl, shoot that shit. Like, don't piss me
Exactly.
off."
Exactly.
So I think, you know, if we're throwing out MVP candidates
I
to
mean, I
you
would love
know,
that. I would love that from that standpoint for sure. I obviously love NECA. I think NECA still is just so underrated. And it's just like I think it's because she's kind of just like quiet and just like she's another one of those where it's like she does her work and she comes home and she kind of just has like a quiet way about her where she's just gonna like put up 20 and 10 and like nobody's really gonna blink at it and it's like all right, yep, that's just NECA, she's just doing her job and like you don't really even notice that she's like got 15 points and the middies just always just hits and NECA's great. NECA's a Hall of Famer. I love her. Um I'll be grateful whatever team she's on. I hope she's on one of mine. Stays on one of mine.
my very last sleeper pick, not an MVP, but Jessica Shepard.
That's a nice
Triple
pickup.
double queen, another triple double
That's a,
queen.
that's a nice pickup.
Just
I
Shepard could
think
be
I
interesting.
think I like that
Fascinating.
shit.
You see me, you know, you feeling the vibe. You know she got the offense there. Bounces, you know she'll rebound. And You know, she'll try to defend. She'll probably rough somebody up first, but she will try to defend. So I think she sleeper pick.
The Mercury do low-key need a power straight though. Now that I'm looking at it, I am realizing that they do need, they are missing. That might have been the problem. It might have been actually too much gay on the equilibrium.
That's why
That
they
does
need
happen from time to
NECA.
time. And I'm still iffy on NECA. People though nobody believes me. I'm still iffy on the NECA situation. I'm still unclear. She's
She's
never spoken
questionable
out.
enough where I think she can get by as a fake power straight. Like,
Okay, fair. That's fair. That's reasonable.
she
She can
doesn't
she can
tell
carry
people
the
her
card.
business, I think, for
She
that
can carry
reason.
the card. Yeah, that's for sure.
They'd be like,
She
oh
definitely has
yeah.
that older sister energy.
Yeah.
Very private.
Who else is what other power straights do we even have?
It's not many out there. They're a dying breed, thank goodness.
Screaming.
Yeah, Kahambi, do you like cactuses?
Hey, well, you know what?
I can get there. I can get there.
Hmm.
That could
Hmm.
be interesting. You could also potentially talk me into Azure, to be honest. I
That
could
would
think
be
that would be
nice.
interesting.
Azure is low-key like the archetype that they need. Like, will
Azure
rebound,
would be
finish the
useful
three,
on
the
half the league.
defense.
That
Yeah.
is so true.
Yeah, that her skill set plus being 6'6" is like it's
Right.
like yes please, actually
Right. To talk about an actual unicorn. Sorry, no offense, but
interesting,
I'm
interesting.
feeling.
I think we
And
mentioned
she
this the
shot
other day.
38% from three. Pretty good. Need that.
We might have mentioned this yesterday. Enrique, do you like cactuses?
Enrique and Phoenix.
I know
Enrique
she
and
get a
Phoenix.
bad rep, but if she all she got to do is shoot the ball, it this might be the best year of her career.
And low key, if you do get rid of Ka and you got to keep Satu, they do play well together, I fear. They do know each other.
I
I wouldn't
could,
mind Enrique, Ka, and AT.
but where's Satu going? Because it ain't back to Dallas.
Germany.
No, because I don't know if I like Enrique Ka in AT.
You think it needs to be Enrique, Satu, and AT?
I do.
You
I
you
do
think you
feel
think
that.
Enrique and Ka step on each other's toes too much?
Yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah.
Ka is gonna demand the ball enough from Enrique. Like Ka is especially now, like I feel like Ka's kind of in like she was almost a little too passive for me at times in this playoff run. I feel like with another like guard like Enrique, she would be even more.
But you know what though?
But I don't know.
But Ka is also really good off ball, and I think that could work with Enrique.
And we just talked about it yesterday. Enrique has shown that if she plays with someone who needs the ball, she is willing to be off that bitch if she
Yeah.
need to.
I mean, even
Another
her at the end of this season, her and Paige playing off ball, and like there was a vision there. There was a vision there.
another
I don't hate
player,
that.
another player who has had history of playing well with AT, Marina Mabry.
I do love.
And you could probably get Marina Mabry without breaking up the three.
You could, because Marina, in the same way, Marina Mabry came in there and when she got to Connecticut, was like, I'm gonna just play on the bench, come in, knock down some shots. You know that Marina can knock down some threes, and you don't have to. She don't have to be your whole offense. Because to me,
Marina
Connecticut shouldn't have blown it up. I'm still standing on that. They shouldn't have blown it up. Marina was the one piece away. We needed more time. Anyway.
to
But
me,
now we're
Marina
back
is
to
like
crash outs.
True. We do need to
So
get
that we
somebody
just
in
need
there.
a really good vet.
But
We just need a really solid vet who's
I
gonna
think
say.
Marina has shown that she's somewhat. See, I think Marina's crash out is more like in defense of her team. She don't let nobody play with her, and she don't let nobody play with her teammates. It's kind of more a little more.
I'm not against. I'm pro.
No,
I am pro all of. I am pro all of that. It's just you can't have too many of them together.
because
But I am pro
you
all of
need somebody
Marina's.
you really need somebody to calm AT down. That's really and see
Right.
that's why Joanna always works because she's gonna be like, chill the fuck out.
Exactly.
She's not. I'm not saying they're scared of AT, but they might be a little like, all right, girl.
If
So you need somebody that's like that. You got to have somebody that's like respected. But it's like, really, who could you get that's both respected?
And that's where you get to the NECA Bree Jones territory because those are players that you know have either played with her or have the
You trust that.
we just talked about this team blowing it up potentially, they're probably not. But if they do, Kahleah McBride, do you like cactuses?
Now
What?
that would move
Kahleah
me.
McBride in the Sammy
That would
Winker
move me.
role.
Yeah, that would move me.
Oh, you're onto something.
Kahleah McBride ain't never played with as good of a playmaker as AT. Ain't never.
I would be
She probably get
ecstatic.
the easiest shots of her life.
I would be
You know what? You might
ecstatic.
be onto something with that one. I do fear I see that vision.
Kahleah McBride had me literally ready to take myself out behind the barn in game 4. I was literally sitting there. There was 2 Minnesota fans sitting right behind us, ironically. And I literally, as she made shot after shot, and I literally would just turn around and be like, oh, like just unreal.
And
She's a great
she'll
player.
defend
Love
for the
her.
most part. I mean, I do like that. I do like that. If it
She's
happens,
real.
we're gonna bookmark that.
I can't wait until we do the Minnesota review and then we start talking about how we're trying to rip this team apart and give everybody their pieces.
Yeah, you know what? Let's start over, guys.
Let's just see where everybody's going. Sophie, you can stay. Courtney Williams, you go here. Everybody just gotta split everybody up.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Courtney Williams could actually be interesting.
Has already played with AT.
Yep. I mean, on the other side of that, Natisha Heidemann too. It was like a good choice, I think.
I mean, the stud buds are a package. They have to go together anyways.
I'm screaming. Well, and Courtney isn't actually a crash out, so it could work a little. The team is
Courtney's
getting a little too gay, but it is working.
They gonna go to the Mercury and they gonna like swap roles. Like Natisha Heidemann's gonna start and Courtney Williams gonna be like, all right, well I'll just come off the bench and just come shooting. Like this is what I used to do with her, so I'll just run this bit back.
Those are her rookies. And I don't know, just some good choices there.
Azare is probably my
Janae.
favorite. Azare and Kahleah McBride are probably my favorite ones.
Those are good.
But it's just because again,
and they're
I feel
kind
like,
of reasonable too.
I feel like damn near every team in the league can use Azare Stevens. Like the greed has consumed me. I would take Azare Stevens right now.
Okay, but imagine this alternate universe. Paige and AT.
It's funny
They would
because
actually kind of eat. They would
it's
actually
funny
eat.
because wasn't it in the offseason that Don was trying to push we got to get AT to Dallas?
Yes, he was. He was.
That makes sense, honestly. And it also makes sense why AT did not want to go.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
She would have been snatching that clipboard out that nigga hand.
Not too much. Not too much. Not too much.
Shout out to my dog, man. You weren't supposed to
Who
go
are
out like
they
that.
gonna hire now? I really thought they were gonna hire Sandy. Sandy
I
said, no,
have
I'm not touching that.
I have a theory that we could probably discuss after this, but
Oh no. I'm
Kurt
scared.
Miller is my one and only thought right now is Kurt Miller is taking too many swings. Buki, you about to be struck out. It's only
That
only 4
nigga,
months.
Kurt Miller think this is my league. He just like, all right, I'm gonna just do this and we'll send the season and see what happens. It's like you have to watch these 365 days. So I don't know what you're doing. These are real people's lives you playing with.
He definitely think he's the Sims right now.
But Jay, would you like to say the line?
I believe all hearts and minds are clear.
Well,
My mind is clear.
Maddy, thank you again for joining us. Wonderful guest as always. This has been another episode of Pull Up 3. I am Paragon Don.
I'm Jermaine.
I'm Jay Trent.
And I'm Maddy.
And we're out.